I would probably. That's a tough one. I would have to say.
Because he got a calendar. He got a
The
nice little
Hearts of
catalog.
Men.
Why that one?
That's one of my favorite. The way he flowed. I got a track that I did where I was kind of flowing similar. Thug Misses from Everywhere, Mr. Jazziest. He came so hard. It was like, yeah, the beat hard. Everything he does is hard. But that would most definitely have to be.
He has a version of Letter to My Unborn that was on the Machiavelli mixtape series and not the album. That would be one of the beats I would choose. But if I had to go off the album, it would be the one with Corrupt Daz, Meth and Red.
Okay, that's dope. It's so many
It's some good choices
from, right? I just personally like.
See, I grew up liking West Coast, so regardless, like now, if you ask me to pick a Quick beat, I can't answer that.
I can't either.
Cause Quick got too many beats that I fuck with.
But I can. Are we?
We recording.
Oh,
you can close it now. But what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Where I Come From. It is I, Mr. Tone Deaf. I'm back in the building on a random ass Tuesday. So if you're watching this exclusively on the TDR YouTube page, you are in for a treat. Only because I have been told several times by my guest today, this is an exclusive. So I'm allowed to ask her whatever the hell I want.
yes.
And I've known her for a while, so I know a lot. I can ask anything and be okay with it. But I am joined by what I dub the jazziest woman from Milwaukee. She is a little bit of everything. She is a business owner, entrepreneur, a philanthropist, an MC extraordinaire, one of the dopest chicks you've ever known. More importantly, a 3-year cancer-free survivor.
Yes, indeed.
It is my homegirl, Jazz Tyler. I don't think it's weird saying your last name like that now.
You know, that's because you're saying it.
I know.
It, right?
It's just funny. I gotta give you the professional introduction right. The world might know you as Jazzy Blanco.
Yes.
Jazzavelli.
Yes.
That bitch that'll slap you on the weekend.
Oh, not anymore.
Okay. I'm glad you grew up. You were a little violent something for a while.
I wouldn't say violent, just zero tolerance. Yep.
I give you that. I give you that.
And I'm still zero tolerance. It's just in a different way.
So what's changed about you?
Everything.
Let's start from the beginning. What changed? What's the first thing that you notice about you?
Patience.
Ooh.
My patience. I have a lot more patience. And because of the things that I've been through, including cancer, I just don't have time to waste.
Let's go there. Me and you reconnected literally months before you found out.
Right.
How was that experience?
During the experience, I didn't cry.
Okay, specifically, which cancer did you have?
I had breast cancer.
Okay.
Yep. I had breast cancer. When I found out, I was kind of taken off guard. My aunt had just passed a year prior unexpectedly from cancer.
Ooh.
So it was emotional, but I don't even think I cried. I didn't cry until like a year later. It just hit me when I realized. Because
when you found out, you told me at work. That was the funniest part. I found out randomly in the hallway at work, and you was just like, "You know, I got cancer. I'm about to quit."
Yeah.
Because you were like, "I'm about to quit."
Because I have to put on my mind. My mind frame was, let me armor up.
Right.
I'm about to go in and beat the fuck out of cancer. You know what I'm
Which
saying?
you
so
did.
I don't have no time.
And I think it was the fact that I knew at that point in time, like, this was a battle you were going to win easily. No different than if somebody was across the table from you trying to go bar for bar.
Right.
I already knew that. But I think it was more so, it was your journey that I paid more attention to anything. Like, even now, when you will bring up, you can't believe that this was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I can't believe it's been so long, so fast, but I never had any doubt that you wouldn't be on the other end of it, big time. So that's one thing I always loved about you.
I appreciate that. It was one heck of a journey. I think the most emotional part about it is that I had a cousin and a friend who was diagnosed at the same time that didn't make it.
Damn.
So Quisha and Taz, and I visited both of them and spoke with them frequently, and we kind of was like on the same path,
Yeah.
But it was really just even more of a reason for me to be grateful.
Right.
It was tough. The surgery was tough. After recovery was tough.
How many surgeries did you have?
I had 4 surgeries. The last surgery I almost transitioned. But it was more of a mental thing than anything.
Right.
So when I first got diagnosed, I just went for a regular checkup,
Right.
a yearly checkup. They felt the lump. I wasn't worried. I went to take the mammogram, and then they ended up finding something in the other breast. So the one he felt the lump in, it wasn't even cancerous. It was the other breast that they found.
So you were benign in one and cancer in the other.
Yep.
That's wild.
So when they initially told me, it was like, okay, what's cracking? What I
Like what
how
I
we
need to
gonna
do?
beat this? You know,
How we gonna do this? How long is it gonna take?
right?
I got a tour coming up in 2 years. I need this to be
Like,
gone.
Yeah, like we gonna get to it, but the process was so tedious and the process was so severe because in the same breath, because the first surgery I had a mastectomy,
Right.
and they automatically put implant.
Right.
My body rejected the implant because it was foreign.
Right.
So I had to go like 6 months without a breast on that side, which mentally was like draining.
Right.
Because initially it was like I don't want to like I was worried about dating. I don't want to have to explain this to people over and over what I've been through. Having children again, if I wanted children, could potentially be an issue because the type of cancer I had was estrogen based, which
Right.
means that it
It
could
could
bring
be.
the cancer back.
Right.
So it was just so many things going through my mind, but then I just realized that there's only one being who has the last say so.
Big facts. And he owed me $5, but we're not gonna talk about that here today.
So that with that mind frame, that's what really got me through. I didn't cry until like a year afterwards because I'm always in survivor mode.
You are, and I'm kind of, I commend you for that, but at the same time, I'd be worried
Yeah.
because it's like, fam, you got some serious shit going on right now. Can you at least take some emotion and realize?
Man, listen,
like,
I went back to work 2
now.
weeks later.
I know you did.
And my doctor was like, "Is you trying to die? Like for real?"
I know you did because you like quit a job, got a whole nother job,
Man,
and was still like, fam, cancer just don't go away like the common cold. You gotta chill. But I am glad to see you on this end. Speaking of jobs, you do a lot. Okay. Like let's get the common sense things out the way.
Okay.
Let's talk about your company.
Which one?
See, that's what I'm talking about, fam. Too many. What's your favorite one so far?
All of them is my favorite, but
Stop lying to yourself. It's
no,
like your
they
kids. You get
are.
all of them ain't your favorite.
Yes, they are.
There's
Okay.
an order.
So Pete is right. So the first business I started was Keep Your Head Up Society.
Yes.
That originated as a hip hop curriculum I created based around the body of work of Tupac. I was blessed to sign a contract with the Milwaukee Academy of Science.
I was going to get to
Rest
that.
in peace, Kaylin Jones.
Keep going.
Kaylin Jones, and shout out to McHenry as well. They both allowed me to come in to conduct the hip hop curriculum.
Okay.
During this time, this was maybe like a month before COVID hit. So I didn't get a chance to finish the curriculum. But I still am in the works of figuring out something way bigger on a larger scale as far as how I want to do that. But also it's basically a community organization. So I have a vacant lot on the block that I grew up on, 14th and Burleigh.
Okay. Shout out to the zoo.
Yes, indeed. The original Zulu, in case they didn't know. But my family have been over there since 1959. And I wanted I'm a firm believer in if everybody play their part, then things will get done.
Right.
I'm not trying to save the entire city, nor am I trying to save the entire world. I
Right.
can only play my part where I come from.
Exactly.
So the Hip Hop Gardens is just a place where people can come and pick up fresh food. You know,
I seen that.
it's just a gathering spot in the hood, and we still building it. So keep your head up. Society is community based. And then I think the most exciting part about it is that I've been blessed to join forces with the organization, the Iverson Classics.
Okay, we gonna stop right here for a minute. So, everybody in the world, you have one person you like, right? I mean, one person you fucking idolize to the point that if you seen them in front of you, you might freeze and freak out. That is AI for her.
So I don't idolize him.
I don't mean idolize, like that is your celebrity.
Well,
how did we get here with him? Other than him crossing over Jordan, but
so Iverson is like the Tupac of the NBA to me.
This he's always has been,
and everybody know I love Pac. So it's not like a liking thing. It's more so of when I don't even know if people know, but I played ball 5th through 10th grade, and majority of the time that's what kept me busy.
I can actually see you balling, fam.
Yeah, and I was. Really
I can literally see you dressing like a little tomboy, crossing niggas over, talking big shit. I can see it.
So I remember being in the kitchen at my Aunt KK house, and I believe this was his rookie year, maybe sophomore year, and it was like, I want to do that. So I was going to Hartford Elementary School. My homegirl, shout out to April, she used to take me on the south side to the Journey house because she was hooping, and she taught me how to play ball. So when I seen how she played and when I seen how Bo played, it was like, okay, I used to want to be like Cheryl Swoops and Cheryl Miller, but now I want to be the first female AI, right?
Okay.
But it was just more than just basketball. I think it was something in him and Pac that I've always like connected with.
They always go against the grain, but they always represent the hood no matter what.
The authenticity.
Yeah. See, because during that time, I think when AI was in the league is when the NBA was trying to clean up their image and got everybody wearing suits and all the good stuff like that. He was still being authentically himself.
Right.
You know.
So that's what I gravitated towards. I gravitated towards the authenticity, but most important, I felt like out of all the people that were in that arena in which I played ball, he was someone I felt like was from my hood that I could relate to the most.
He did give you that vibe that no matter where you from, he's from your block.
Yeah, and he has a light on him, like he's doing something amazing. So to fast forward to the Iverson Classics, I went. So typically it's around my birthday,
right?
And I went. I ordered tickets, but the pandemic came, so I wasn't able to go. So this year I ended up going, and I went not because it's just the Iverson Classics, but I seen the vision from afar.
Right.
It's pretty much like the black version of the All American, in my opinion.
It was
right. So when I went, it was like, yo, like everybody that knows me knows how I get down with the youth, with the community, with anybody using their platform to uplift the youth. Black youth in particular,
right?
And it was an amazing event, an amazing energy, and I was very, very proud to even have gone and experienced it.
Right.
Raven Jackson, she was the only young lady that played, and I remember seeing a post that shout out Bobby Bates, that he posted about Steven Jackson hosting the I Have a Dream all-female showcase in Memphis, which is branched under the Iverson Classics.
Right.
And it was crazy because I was thinking like they should have something with more young ladies that could play, you know? And my first reaction was, how can I help? Like, how can I be a part of this? And it was like, yeah, we always looking for community partners. Like, I don't want to be a part of the basketball aspect because that's not technically what I do now.
Right.
I know my lane. And my lane is community. When it comes to serving the people and giving to the people,
right,
that's what I'm about. So it actually was like a month of us building and putting stuff together before it actually hit the internet.
Okay.
And I'm not big on notoriety.
Right.
I'm not big.
You actually have been really low key with all the moves you make.
Yeah, because it's not about me.
It's never been about
it's just
you.
walking that purpose. But I think I remember driving. I was driving to get something to eat at night, and I put up IG at the stoplight. Don't text the drive. But
Look at dog
I
putting a little
put
quick
up
one in there.
IG, and the first thing I seen was the Iverson Classics page that had my picture up that said that they partnered with me, and I was like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Wait, what? Like,
You wasn't ready for that.
it hit me, and it was like, man, like, not once again, not because it's them. I mean, that's a part of it, but because I get to expand me helping people
Right.
outside of my city, which is what I've
Oh,
always
you
wanted
wanted
to
to.
do.
Now your reach is a lot longer than what it was before. So, what is your end goal with this?
Well, it's never an end goal because the work to assist the people is always ongoing.
This is
But
true.
I don't have any expectations. I don't have any goals of moving up or anything like that. It's strictly just about the people.
Okay. So you brought up something earlier, and I want to double back a little bit. You are focused on helping the peoples. The Burleigh area is a personal place for you.
Yes.
Um, for those who live in the city of Milwaukee, you know we've had a really big issue with stolen cars lately, even to the point where dealerships now won't take certain types of cars in as trade-in.
Mm.
I've heard that a lot of these cars are now kind of being found over in that area.
Mhm.
Is there anything that you're looking to do to try to at least guide the youth in something different instead of looking at this as an avenue? Maybe finding some after school activities, something basically to get our youth back to wanting to be more hands on instead of just being out here wild and free.
First and foremost, I think, well, what I will start by with is by saying it's not a me thing, it's a us thing.
Of course.
And we have to understand that systematically there are things that have been put into place and are continuing to be put in place to force these type of things to happen. So um, for me, it's not a matter of judging because if I'm gonna be realistic, they was doing the same thing in the 90s. It's just we didn't have social
80s and
media
90s.
social media, you know. So I think it's more so of a matter of we have different components that plays a part in this. The family, the household. It's not that the parents don't care about their children. They at work.
They're too busy
You know,
working.
I think the I think where we went wrong is not allowing others in the community to assist us in raising our children. So if
Is
we
it
can get
not
back to
allowed?
that,
Is it not just only allowing, or is it just people not caring?
both.
Because we now have this thing where everybody's always talking about minding their own business, where they can see a situation going. Like just before me and you sat down,
Mhm.
had a whole domestic violence show that we have here on TDR, and some of the conversation that came up was if you hear about your boy doing a DV type of scenario, do you intervene?
So
And there are some people who just that's not my business.
yeah, and that's cool. That ain't for them. But for me, it's like I feel okay. For instance, it's two scenarios that happened to me in 1 week when I got back in town.
Okay.
The first one, I was going to get something to eat. I pulled up in the alley. The guy was just speeding crazy
Right.
down the alley, and any other person would have been mad or not said nothing. And when we got out, I was like, bro, you scared me. Like, I was about to get the car. I feel like you about to hit my car. Like, slow down, be
Right.
safe, you know? And he was like, you right, I got you.
Like my bad.
You know,
for it, yeah.
the little kids, they was running through the alley, you know, they in stole these stores. I'm like, they like, what's happening? Da, da, da. Like, really? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that it's the approach. Like, we always come to the youth with an approach as if we have to tell them what to do. We
Right.
haven't even listened to why they're doing it in the first place.
That's one of the things I've been actually telling a lot of people. We quick to say what somebody is doing wrong, but we're never asking them what's going on.
And it's a lot going on. It's not just in the household. I mean, it's like I said, systematically, it's
Right.
a lot going on. So it's gonna take a lot. I think I don't know the solution. I'm trying to figure it out myself. All I know is that all I can do is play my part, which is connect with them and build with them as much as I can.
And that's all I ask you to do. Because you definitely got a voice that needs to be heard. Speaking of voice, all voting is local.
Lavo, told my sister soldier. All voting is local.
Yes. Tell me more about this. Because when I got back in contact with you, you were going heavy for the political scene here in the city of Milwaukee.
So what I will say, because I'm not at work, so what I will say is that I never really went heavily with the political aspect. What I ended up doing was becoming a bridge between people I know that sit in political seats and the people in the streets.
Big
So
facts.
the reason why, shout out to Alderwoman Cox, because I've been rocking with Malele for a while, and I grew up in her district.
That's damn near family to me.
Yeah, like that's big sis. So she's one of the few people who is reachable and is actually true to the work and
Right.
being committed to assisting the people. So that's what I do. I try to work with people like that.
Right.
And what I figured out was that there was resources at the city state level that our people could benefit from that
But
we
we
were
didn't know
not.
about.
So what I did was I simply just try to be that bridge to say, hey, let me, talk to them. I'm gonna talk to y'all, set up some meetings, get y'all information, and that way we can start owning our own businesses, and
Right.
so it's not a political thing; it's a people thing.
Well, I do have to give credit to lately the city of Milwaukee. I don't know if it's just the city of Milwaukee or just people who love us lately have been creating tons of programs for a lot of small businesses.
Yes.
And being here in Sherman, Phoenix. Actually, you know what? Shout out to Drew Holiday. Specifically, I got to give Dog love because he recently started the Holiday Fund, him and his wife. And I've seen so many people, personal people I know, benefiting from his grants and whatnot. Even here being in Sherman, Phoenix, I think that's one of the number one things I'm proud of to be in Sherman, Phoenix.
Yes.
Because you know me, we started on the South Side in little workshops and grew to this. That I see so many small businesses. Let me change that. See so many black businesses making big moves.
Right.
And a lot of them are getting funding from the city. Even when I was looking to expand here, the building was like, look, do this, this, and this by this date. We can get you this, this, and this grant. Something that prior to before getting here, I never knew nothing about.
Yeah.
I never knew I could do this. I have been funding this whole business by myself for at least the last 5 years. When I could have got so many different opportunities, and I never knew they was there.
Yeah.
All it takes is me to record a 5-minute video of what I plan on doing with it, and now here's $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, like stuff to grow
Right.
a business that a lot of people just did not know. And people like you, I love to death because you make that information accessible. There may be that one person who wants to start a t-shirt apparel, but don't realize there's more steps to it. So you'll put in position of, here's the classes I suggest you take. Here's programs that's covering this. Here's money that can front you to get started. Here's people you can work with. You know, we could build our own community as long as we talk to each other.
Right. And the reason why I am that way is because so many people have not provided me with resources. Even to this day, like
This is true.
with this wellness center, right? I've been reaching out to people here about natural herbs and trying to find a supplier. And even though the business is not even in the city of Milwaukee, nobody will plug me. And it makes no sense to me because think about it, like, well, the value of the dollar is already decreasing. But let's say we take it away. All we can do is trade anyways, right? So there will always be enough to go around.
Exactly. And I think a lot of that comes from the mentality that they feel that by giving what I have, it's when that shortage comes, now I'm hurting.
Right.
And people don't understand it's not really that serious. Natural remedies mean that it will regrow itself eventually. So you'll always be supplied. Matter of fact, let's stop here. Let's talk about the Wellness Center. Because I still got to run up on it one of these days.
Okay. So the Wellness Center is something that I've always wanted to do.
I know.
When I first was, not when I got diagnosed, but when I went through my recovery, Taz, rest in peace to Taz. I love her so much. Taz passed away from breast cancer as well, but I had the opportunity to visit her multiple times about the holistic approach in which it worked for her initially.
Right.
She was able to remove the tumor by taking a holistic approach. So
Right.
she's the person who technically put me onto the holistic
Right.
approach. So throughout the years, I just was trying different things. Shout out to my brother Chris Burton. He's in school right now to be a doctor, and I work with him a lot on different solutions and strategies and mixing different things to try to cure people.
Right.
So I wanted to do I wanted to do a holistic wellness center. And my better half, my husband, he does fitness. So the goal was to merge them together. It really wasn't
Actually
even
makes sense.
yeah, it really wasn't even a like I'm not gonna say a well thought out process. It didn't take long. It just happened,
Right.
which is how I know that y'all made it happen
Right.
because it just happened organically. So I just decided like, hey, let's do it. We do it in the A, and
Which is actually a smart place to start at.
yeah, in 1 week we found the spot,
And that's
got
one thing.
everything. Yeah,
It's just now just getting out. It's marketing for you, basically.
yeah, but and even with the holistic wellness center, it's not necessarily about just the natural herb aspect. It's about healing people as a whole,
Right.
turning them on to the truth of the scriptures, getting their mental together, their physical, the diet, everything. It's a lifestyle. It's not a trend. It's a lifestyle.
That mental part is going to be the hardest part.
To a certain extent,
Break it
because
down for
when
me.
you walk in a righteous path, um, first and foremost, people real recognize real.
True.
And one thing we cannot run from is the truth. Not my truth, not your truth, but the truth, right?
Okay.
So when you hit people with the truth, some spirits are going to decline it, and that's completely fine,
Of
right?
course.
Because the goal is not to save everybody.
Right.
But while on earth, while walking in purpose, what I've learned is that I've been loyal to so many people, the wrong people.
Mm.
And I have not been as loyal to the Most High. So when I started to do that, I started to realize that that's the only thing that matters. With me doing so, I never worry. I'm not gonna say never. I'm getting out of the ways of worrying about whether or not someone is going to be receptive to the information and knowledge that I have as it pertains to helping them. Is either you take it or you don't. If you take it, let's rock and roll. I got you. If
Big
you
facts.
don't, more power to you. Do you.
You got this. I'm actually going to, next time I come down to Atlanta, I'm definitely making sure I
Come
stop
through.
in.
Come through.
I'm actually due
We
for
got
another.
raw honey.
How did you get raw honey, fam?
So
Let me find out you got a whole beehive out in the backyard. You just going and shaving on the weekend, fam.
So we have honey that has ginger, honey that has buckwheat,
Okay.
raw white milk thistle honey, raw red honey.
Right.
So my favorite is the raw white milk thistle honey. I love it. And when you taste the honey, you're gonna realize that the honey in the store is not as authentic.
You definitely can tell that.
We have natural herbs for teas. We're gonna have sage, the basics. And then eventually branch off to soups and vegan food. So I'm 2 months no meat. I slipped up twice. I'm not afraid to say it was my mother's birthday and I wanted a steak so bad, so that's what I ate.
I'll let it
Right.
slide. I'll let it
And
slide.
then one day I had, I'm always in the taco truck in Bronzeville. That's like the best tacos in the city. And I typically get vegan tacos, but this time I got the taco with the steak. So I slipped up twice in 2 months, but I'm not perfect.
I
So
mean, it's a process.
cool.
You can't just quit meat cold turkey, man. Takes a while. You
does.
got to slowly get there. I feel you on that though.
It does.
But my mind just went blank.
Yeah, because I just hit you with a hoe. You're like, wait, what? What is that?
It's like you vegan, fam?
Yeah.
Like I'm.
Well, I'm not vegan
You
because
getting there?
I'm still eating dairy and I'm trying not to, but I have let the meat go because not because it's the cool thing to do and I'm trying to, but
Right.
because my body, number one, I don't want to risk getting cancer again.
Right. You got to be
And number
very
two,
careful with your body.
I tried it for 1 week and I started waking up at 5:30 in the morning without an alarm clock, just energetic.
Meat definitely plays a major factor on what drains us and slows us down. Because at the end of the day, no matter how you cook it, you have to realize to yourself, you are putting something dead in
in your
something
body.
alive.
It makes no sense.
And it really doesn't. I get it when we were out in the wild trying to survive, but we're not anymore.
Right.
You know, I actually have a homegirl, shout out to Butterfly. She put me onto a couple of her vegan meals, and they were actually better than some regular meals I've had.
And really, like when I eat, sometimes I don't whip up a whole vegan meal. I just eat the sides. I still go to barbecues, all of that. It's just I ain't eating the meat. I'm gonna eat the yams, I'm gonna eat the greens, I'm gonna eat the black eyed peas. I'm just not eating the meat.
Right. That's all it is. You just leaving the neck bone in the pot.
That's it.
That's it. Ain't no meat on the neck bone anyway, which is really just wasting your time. But that's like the most niggerish shit I've ever heard. But that's a different story. Cosmetics.
Cosmetics. So Callie Rain Cosmetics is named after my daughter, Callie Rain.
I knew that. I just wanted you to say it.
The reason why I started it was because one thing I learned from Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. was that legacy is more important than life.
We're gonna get on that in a minute.
So I wanted to make sure she's 4. I wanted to make sure at this age I started something so that she could have something before she even hit high school.
Right.
You know, and it's hers. But the cosmetics line started with me making home-based cosmetics. And then I really sat down and thought, like, I withdrew that and thought, like, everybody is so fixed on just slapping stuff on their skin. But
Right.
in all actuality, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to start the wellness center also, it starts with your diet.
Big facts.
You can have all of the blemish removers and the makeup and the soaps and face washes, but if you don't drink enough water, if you don't eat the right foods, your skin's still going to be crap.
It's still gonna be bad. And then the crazy part about it is people, women mostly, because not too many men. Women literally will put makeup to hide the blemishes instead of correcting them.
Correct. Yes. Yep.
So you'll sit here with like bags, dark spots, blemishes on your skin when instead of putting this makeup on, you could have did the
Just
skincare
corrected
regimen
it.
instead and would have came out a whole lot better.
Another portion of the teeth of the cosmetic line is teeth whitening. I started doing the teeth whitening. Shout out to my sister Bridget in the A. Bridget put me on this. Well, Chairman put me on it, and then he introduced me to Bridget, and then Bridget trained me, and it was like, yo, nobody at the crib do this.
They
Nobody
don't.
put other people on, you know. So
We
shout
not.
out
You
to
have to.
sis.
A lot of that has to. You got to remember, our city is a crab in a barrel mentality. Some
Yeah,
of it came from, and I hate to put this, when Chicago people came up and they seen that we wasn't on to some of the stuff they was on, they started pushing what they had and was being stingy with their information. So when somebody got something, they started being stingy with their information. And next thing you know it, the whole city don't want to share nothing.
don't want to share anything.
And it'd be
So
free.
she provided me with how to do it, trained me on how to do it, and the products I use are vegan. And most importantly, I'm gonna be realistic because I'm never politically correct, right?
Nah, that's why you here.
My people, everybody don't got insurance, right?
That niggas don't even know what that is, fam. Let's be honest.
And when the pandemic came, a lot of people lost jobs.
Big facts.
Does that mean that you can't walk around with a pretty smile? Does that mean that you can't get your teeth whitened? Now, I don't fix teeth. I don't fix stank breath. I don't fix none of that stuff. All I do is whiten it. So if you want a consultation as it pertains to your dental health, then I do suggest you go to your doctor. All I can do is just make your smile beautiful.
And you do that. I mean, I got some work to do on myself,
Like,
but
it's all
when
good.
I get the veneers and niggas whole grill is shiny, I'm gonna come see you twice a week. Get my hair cut and then come see you. That's how we gonna do it. Niggas is gonna be 50 years old, fly as hell for no reason. But you bring up the chairman.
Yes.
And when I found out that you partnered with the chairman, I wasn't surprised.
Hmm.
Like when I actually seen the photos of you at the filming of Judas and the Black Messiah, I'm like, that's where you belong.
So I actually met Chairman a decade ago.
I had a feeling you did. It had to been some history there because you were there and you were comfortable.
Yeah, I met Chairman a decade ago. He came to UW Milwaukee and he spoke. I went to go see him speak, and sister what is Nate Gilliam.
Right.
He took me to a Haru event where I met Sister Daphne, and I got cool with her. and then she rocked with Chairman, so I ended up getting cool with Chairman as well. And I studied. Well, first and foremost, I've always studied the Black Panther Party.
Of course.
Minister Huey P. Newton, Chairman
Yep.
Fred Hampton Jr., Chairman Bobby Seale. So that's always been instilled in me. Once I got around Chairman, and I'm grateful for him because he was the first person to show me what structure and discipline was.
Mm.
And it took me a while because, like you said, when we first started, I was nothing like what I am today, and I'm okay with that because growth is everything. But watching him and learning and just picking up on certain things, most definitely, he instilled a lot of structure and discipline in me. And what ended up happening was, I ended up being his executive assistant.
Okay.
Um, he serves the people.
Right. He
So
most definitely does.
when you serve the people, that can be, a lot
Right.
on top of having to do a movie and all of the things that goes on behind the scenes that
Right.
people don't see. So even being on the set, it wasn't that I was on the set because it was a movie. It was because I was paying respects um, to Chairman Mother Akua and Chairman Fred Hampton Jr.
Right.
And the legacy in general of the Black Panther Party.
So let me ask you a question. What was your honest opinion on the movie?
I love it. So what people have to understand is that wasn't what it was supposed to be. Chairman and Mother Akua fought tooth and nail to even get the name of the movie changed. It was originally called Jesus Was My Homeboy.
That's
The
stupid.
script was not sustainable. So there was a lot of back and forth behind scenes, a lot of things happening behind scenes for to protect the legacy,
Right.
right? So the movie is to the best that they could do, simply amazing. It's fulfilling, but it's also it's a different kind of pain,
True.
because like a lot of people when they're on set, they may feel like, oh my gosh, I'm on a movie set. But my thought process was like, how many times can Mother Akua replay this?
Right.
She was there,
She was.
so to have to see it reenacted and then Chairman him to have to see it reenacted and he was inside of her stomach when it happened is that was what was most important to me.
And to the fact that not only it being reenacted, it's being reacted correctly.
Correctly protecting the legacy.
Right. Because white America would change the thing in a heartbeat.
And we all know that when they assassinated the members of the Black Panther Party, that the goal was never to make the story a public thing.
Exactly.
Right? So once again, just that in itself of even having the opportunity to be a part of that is showing respect to their legacy and also create minds in the same. And and it's not something that happened purposely. It just happened organically, but I'm grateful.
It did. And shout out to the cast. Y'all did y'all shit.
They did. They did.
Like some of them I can't look at the same anymore. Because they are such phenomenal actors and actresses that now anytime they get in a role, they body them every single time.
Yes.
Like I became a huge fan of Lakia because of that.
That was proper preparation for them to me because I remember hearing Chairman speak about Lakeith Stanfield not knowing that he was going to be playing the role.
He didn't. I remember him saying that
pig.
too. He didn't know that he was going to play that role, and he said in an interview, it fucked him up.
Yeah.
That he was playing this particular role.
Yep.
Out of all of them.
And even then, it still was some contradictions because, as you can see, like they still kind of based it, not Chairman, but like they kind of based it still around the story of him. But all in all, it was
they still got
yeah.
a large portion of the actual story out there as much as possible.
Yep.
What's next for you? Because we're getting close to the end of our time today.
Well,
let's do this. Before we ask that, I want to ask you one question. I'm not.
I'm not not tripping. I
I'm
said
not.
it's exclusive, so you guys what you
I'm
want,
not
but I kind of already know.
no, you don't.
Okay, go
You
ahead.
can't.
All
This is
right.
not the same tone. This is. I'm different. I'm business right now.
Okay.
Even though people are professing they love for you and everything like that,
Who people who
uh,
like who?
that you don't need to know that you a married woman.
Oh no, no, I'm not. I'm not concerned about
Nah,
like men or nothing like that. I'm just
nah,
saying.
just a lot of people they love you.
I love the people.
They respect you. They love you. Some love you. Um, that's corralling right here in the conversation. But okay, so recently, and I want your honest opinion on it because I know you're gonna be straight up.
Mhm.
Recently they just got done announcing that they have a vaccine ready for the youth, for the kids under
Mhm.
11 years old. Um, First of all, are you for or against it? To be honest with me, fam,
You know, you already know the answer.
but I don't know. I don't know, man. You
You
might
know
change.
damn well I'm not putting that shit in me and my children.
Okay. The big conversation that has recently came up, and it really threw me for a loop, is in a society where there's both a husband and wife or a co-parenting society where they're taking care of full responsibility of their children together. If one parent wants the vaccination and the other one doesn't,
Mm.
who's right?
So I actually had a situation. My ex husband, we co-parent very good, and he's for it. If I'm not mistaken, obviously he's for it, and I'm not. So I think the way it works is just like I just say that I don't want him to do it, and he just respect that I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if there's like a right or wrong thing. It's just that um it has to be a mutual agreement between the two, that in a respect type of thing. So respectfully, I don't want my children to be injected with that, and I ask that you respectfully not do it. You know.
But what if the fears get the greater of him and he does?
Well, I
because
don't speak about the what ifs because he
because the
has
fear
it.
mongering that's going on when it comes to what could happen, it's even getting to the point where jobs are getting to the point where they're forcing kids. Like if I'm not mistaken, the school board here in Milwaukee just got mandated
Yeah, and
that they have to take it.
that's foul because it's people that have been working at MPS for years that lost their jobs because they can make their own executive decision about what goes on inside of their body.
I feel you on that.
So as far as me and him, um, I don't know because that's not the case. So I can't speak about the unknown.
True,
All I
true.
know is that my children and myself will not be taking the vaccine, nor will we participate in any government experiment.
You feel like they Tuskegee in us?
I don't feel. I mean, the proof is already out there. There's people who had COVID, and let me say this: it's not to denounce COVID, but there's people that had it that got the vaccination and still got it again.
This is true.
So, and I'm a cancer survivor, so nobody's sticking anything inside of me that's pause as far as medicine.
It's funny when a woman pauses.
Because no, I wasn't saying it in like
I know
a
you. I
sexuality
know.
way. I
It's
was
just
just saying
funny.
like, because
Clear your
people
thought.
minds go. But
I know.
anyways,
It's just funny.
like I have to be very careful about what I intake.
Definitely.
And
That's.
I'm
I think
also
that's why
clear.
I wanted your opinion because you have to be 100% cautious about anything: the medicine you take, the food you eat, the water you drink, because your body has a risk factor, a high
Right.
risk factor at that. So the vaccination, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I more so got it from my mother. My mother is very, very ill. And her only request that she's ever asked any of her kids is to get vaccinated. That way, if you happen to get it, I know it's is if you happen to get it, you don't bring it to me. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so she just wants that reassurance. So
Casio
I went
charger.
and got it from my mother.
Casio charger.
You can definitely see it
Thank you.
as you about to die. I actually tried to give it to you at first.
Oh, I didn't know.
You
Yeah.
rejected my
I'm
love for my
starving. It's all
charger.
good.
Nah, I had two anyway. Uh, but I just with the kids, I'm not doing it right away.
Mhm.
Me, I can risk my life. I've lived on this planet for 43 years. If I made a choice for my family and it ended my life, I lived a good life.
Right.
I'm not going to put my kids at that risk, though.
Yeah, but I think that well, first and foremost, being black is a risk. Number two,
Big facts.
anytime that someone is, I mean, it's my issue is this. My issue is that time and time again, and this is just the real. There has been physical proof that we have been experimented on,
Oh, no doubt.
physical proof that the things that they inject in us is not safe. I mean, the cancers, the diseases, everything is man-made.
Right.
So why do we continuously trust the people that oppress us?
Because we're conditioned to. Think about it.
You could be, I'm conditioned to a lot of stuff,
And
but
we
you
are
still have
conditioned
to
to.
make
You,
an
but
executive decision to say, are you going to, like, somebody, you know, I'm I had to go through the process of unlearning to relearn.
But see, that's just it. You went through the process. Some people are comfortable with being ignorant.
They are.
Okay. And a lot of people went through the whole thing. I'm not getting vaccinated. This is a violation of our rights, the whole 9 yards.
What rights? We don't have rights as a black
Hold
people.
on. Hold on. I hear what you're saying. And then it's like, okay, the job that you have is now in danger.
Mhm.
Because so many of our people are not skilled workers or they don't know how to go out and make something happen on their own. They rely on a 9 to 5 to get them from point A to point B in life. Ooh, my job is in danger. Let me now go get this. They've done exactly what you wanted them to do, regardless of whatever the outcome is.
So until everyone starts back going towards the path of the righteous, yeah, the most high, then we're all gonna be discombobulated.
Most
And
definitely.
and it and I'm not saying it because that's the easiest thing to say. That's that's what I know for a
Yeah,
fact.
you walk it, so that's why I believe it from you.
Like we have become so dependent on the government, a government that was never created for us,
Mm.
a country that was built by us but not for us.
They don't even want to give us a little money on the side no more.
And they honestly, like, man, all I can say is direct people to the scriptures.
Most definitely.
Like, because uh, the back and forth between whether you should or you shouldn't, I think common sense wise, people, for the most part, I know for a fact that our people know that this is something that we should not take, but
Right.
because they are afraid of being broke and they are of the materialistic world,
Ooh.
it's a problem. See, me, I'm a hustler. I didn't have nothing. So if a job tell me, and I know this is not everybody's situation, but the
Right.
reason why I'm saying this is because I have built up enough strength and faith to know that y'all will always guide me.
Most
So that
definitely.
if a job come and tell me that I can no longer work for them, in which I shouldn't be working for them anyways, then unless I get the vaccination, then I have to be terminated. Okay, you not gonna tell me what I can put and what I can't put inside my body
That's the
because
jazz I
you
was
didn't
looking for.
create me.
That's the jazz I was looking for right there. And we've come to the end of this
You
episode.
didn't create me. Wait, before we go, I gotta
But
get some
I
shout
was gonna
outs.
give you your
Oh,
moments.
I'm
I'm not
sorry.
we not done.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, give your shout outs.
I
What
just
you up to, how they can find you.
oh
If you're
the
trying to be
Jazzy
found.
Effect on Instagram. I wanted to direct people to my husband's music as well. It's not rap music. It's strictly uplifting. Yeah, it's strictly about the Most High, about the scriptures. The scriptures of truth is out now.
Okay.
You can download it. Uziel, formerly known as Slick Puller, download it on Apple Music. The video just dropped on YouTube, and I would I want to refer people to the truth. So the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of people know me from music and they know my grind and all of that stuff. But if you don't take anything away from hearing me speak or my interviews, please take away this. The only being that matter is the Most High. The only person that has control over you is the Most High. The
Most
only
definitely.
person, the only being who you owe your loyalty to is Yah. Nothing or nobody else matters. I promise. And I know. because I'm walking it and I have walked it. And there's been so many situations I've been in that he's proven to me.
Right. This is why she's one of my favorite people that I'm not related to. And this is why we didn't talk about music this episode because you got to go back because this is not her first interview with us and find the episode where all we talked about was music. I want to focus on the woman this time.
Yes.
Next time we'll talk about the mission.
Yeah. I might get back to it. You know, after the video he just dropped, I was very inspired. So
I'm wait.
I may drop something.
I want to see what this gonna sound like now.
It won't be too different.
I'm
But
not asking to be different. I just want to hear what it's gonna sound. You see, a mature rapper is a completely different rapper
yes.
than when they were hungry.
Well, I'm still hungry. Just hungry. I'm a warrior for y'all. That's the only difference.
Hey, that changes everything.
I agree.
You look at Luda first album, look at Luda last album. It's two different vibes. Not made for everybody.
Yeah.
DJ Quick went from talking about the night he got drunk to dropping the rhythmism.
Mm-hmm.
Completely different. Same guy.
Right.
It's all maturity. So I can't wait for your next project to come out. So for everybody, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Where I Come From. Once again, I thank Jazz for popping in. Her hat should match my hat, just the other way around. Make sure you check us out on all streaming platforms. That's Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to your music at. Make sure you look her up. Follow every single thing she is doing. If you are in the A, go check out the Wellness Center, fam. I'm dead ass.
The IME Wellness Center on Ralph David Abernathy Drive on the west. I'm sorry, Boulevard on the west end.
Yeah, you got to be specific with the boulevards on the drive.
So it's right next door to the West End Mall. So if you're in the A,
done.
If you know where the West End Mall is, you could pull up. If you're in Milwaukee, Cali Brain Cosmetics, I'm in Mequon off of Port Washington Road to get your teeth whitening. Keep your head of society. The Hip Hop Garden is on 14th of Burleigh. If you're interested in the community work of the Iverson Classics, follow me on Instagram, The Jazzy Effect, and I can assist you and point you in that direction as well.
So basically what she's saying is there's no reason why you shouldn't be fucking with her, fam. That's what I got. And with that being said, people, we out of here.